going to do is I'm going to run you through the game of roulette, a lot of the terminology, just to explain to you how this great traditional casino game works. When you're playing on our site, you're using the European roulette wheel. Critically, you're using the European wheel because when you play in America, there are 2 zeros on the wheel. There's 38 different slots the balls drop into. Here, there's only 37. You've got a much better chance of winning on the European wheel. It's got a single zero. That's how you can spot it. I'd always advise you players, never play roulette on a wheel with 2 zeros. You're not getting fair odds. We give you the best odds available anywhere on the European wheel on this website. A Chevelle, sometimes known as a split, is where you place your chip on the line between 2 numbers. You're only betting 2 numbers. You get paid 17 to 1 odds if you get a winning chip on a Chevelle or a split, 17 to 1 odds. A column bet is a way of playing 12 numbers with 1 chip. In this case, they're numbers that run all the way up the table, maybe numbers 3 through 36. The middle column are numbers 2 through 35. The first column are numbers 1 through 34. You place your chips on this 2 to 1 area here. You're covering all 12 numbers, and if you're successful, you get paid at odds of 2 to 1. You're betting 12 numbers, it's called a column bet. A corner, it's one of the middling bets. It's a very, very popular way of playing. You place your chip on any crossroads between the 4 numbers there. You're covering each of the 4 numbers that your chip is touching. You get paid 8 to 1 odds. You're covering 4 numbers. So for each one that you bet, 1 chip on that little corner there returns you 8 chips for each one. They're called a corner, they pay 8 to 1 odds. In the game of roulette, the croupier, after the ball has dropped into the number, we can see the ball here, it's in the number 3, they will drop the dolly on the number, clear the losing chips away, pay the winning chips. This is the marker that lets you players know what the winning number is. It's always been called le dolly. The dolly, you put it on the number and it marks the winning result. They're usually made out of glass, some made out of crystal. These are called the dolly. Again, another French phrase, the game of roulette is a very, very traditional old French game. The en plein is a straight up bet on 1 number. There you go, 1 number you bet, en plein, number 8, straight on the number. Biggest risk, biggest reward. Play your en plein, get a 35 to 1 return. One of your safe ways of playing in roulette is the high, lows, odds and evens. This time, numbers 1 to 18, low numbers. Each one you bet, you've got 18 numbers in your favour, low risk, low return. We double you up when you play the low numbers, 18 in your favour. Evens, levels you devils, you double up when you win on the low numbers. A neighbour bet is a way of you having a little area of the wheel in your favour. You pick your favourite number. By playing a number and its neighbours, you then have the 2 numbers either side of it on the roulette wheel in your favour as well. In the wheel here we've got an example with the 0, and on the table I've placed the chips. 0 is surrounded by the following numbers, 26, 32, 3 and 15. So by doing 0 and the neighbours, it's a 5-piece bet. If one of the 0 or the neighbour numbers comes in, you get a 36-piece return. It's a classic way of playing. It's a little area of the wheel in your favour. A neighbours bet, in this case 0 and the neighbours. For each 5 chips you bet, you get 36 chips back. Your own little area of the wheel to win with. The French sections are 3 different specific ways of placing your chips on areas of your roulette wheel. The least known and the smallest of the French sections is called the Orphans or the Orphelins, and I've set it up for you on the table here. It's a 5-piece bet that can return you up to 36 chips. You have a straight up on the number 1, you bet the 6-9, you split or Chevelle 14-17 and 17-20, also a split or a Chevelle on 31-34. It's a very classical, good old-fashioned way of playing the game of roulette. It's called the Orphans or the Orphelins. You need multiples of 5 chips to play it, called the Orphans, and you can win at up to sort of 36 chips for every 5 that you lay out. They're called the Orphans, part of the French section. Betting on the outsides, we've discussed the low numbers, the high numbers, the even numbers and the odd numbers. 18 numbers in your favour. Here they are on the outside of the table, the outside chances, the low risk, the low return bets. Every time you have a bet, you've got 18 numbers in your favour. You bet 1, you win 1. It's as simple as that. Low risk, low return, but a lovely way to start yourself off, getting a little win at the roulette table. Low risk, low return. They're called the even money chances, the outside bets. One of the middle in bets is the 6 line. We do low risk, we do higher risk, somewhere in the middle really, you'd say the 6 line. You drop your chip here or perhaps here, and it covers all the 6 numbers across the table. In this example, numbers 4 to 9. In this example, the numbers 10 to 15. You've got 6 of the 37 numbers on the roulette wheel in your favour. If you get a winning chip for each one that you bet on the 6th line, we're going to pay you 5 winning chips. A way of playing 3 different numbers with 1 chip is called a street. They're quite specific bets, the streets. They run across the table generally. In this case, the number 4, 5 and 6, the 4 to 6 street. This one is 10, 12 street. You can do as many or as few of them as you like. For each winning return you get, maybe in this example, 4, 5 and 6, the winning number is number 5. 11 to 1 odds is the return when you bet on the streets. A fairly high risk bet, actually the 3rd highest risk. 3 numbers, 11 to 1 returns, they're called streets. French sections are ways of playing areas of the wheel. The most popular of them, the best known of them, is called the tiers du cylindre, often mispronounced but not by me. If you look at your roulette wheel, the numbers 27 to 33 inclusive make up a nice little chunk of the roulette pie, and that's 12 numbers together on the wheel. Tiers du cylindre translates from the French as 1/3 of the cylinder, so you've got 1/3 of the numbers in your favour, more or less, without discounting the 0, and you can place them on the table as such. 5, 8, 10, 11, 13, 16, 23, 4, 27, 30, 33, 36. They're all what we call chevelles or splits, where you're splitting your stake between the 2 numbers. In total then there are 12 numbers in the tiers du cylindre. You place them nice and evenly, so for each 6 chip outlay that you put, you're going to treble up and win 18 chips. If you pay the tiers by 1, a 6 chip outlay, an 18 chip return. And it's all those numbers shop at 0 on the roulette wheel between 27 and 33 that are your winning numbers on the tiers du cylindre. French sections, lovely ways of playing an area of the wheel in your favour. There are 3 of them, the Wisest Deziel, the tiers du cylindre and the Orphans. The biggest of the French sections is this one here that we've got placed at the table. It's called le Wisest Deziel. It covers every single number on the roulette wheel, starting at 25, moving through the 0 in the middle, moving all the way to 22 on the other side of the wheel. 17 numbers of the 37, almost half the wheel, are being backed by you, so you really want that ball to drop near to the 0. It's a beautiful, lovely old-fashioned way of playing, and there's a classical chip placement on the table here for you to do so. What do? You place 2 chips on 0, 2, 3, chip on 4, 7, 1 on 12, 15, 1 on 18, 21, 1 on 19, 22, a couple of chips on 25, 9, corner there, covering those 4 numbers, and the 2 numbers here, 32, 35, complete it. You need multiples of 9 chips. You can get some bigger returns, some slightly smaller returns here. It's a little bit uneven. It's called the Wisest Deziel, the neighbours of the 0. As I say, starts at 25, 0 in the middle, all the way around to 22 the other side. You're covering a nice big chunk, almost half of the roulette wheel. Nearer to 0 the better when you place in the Wisest Deziel.